Hello my lovelies, bit of an update on my health. Oh, I'm so stressed out over it. January I had a full blood test. That was tricky to get out. So that came back that I needed to go back in 6 weeks. So why they had to wait 6 weeks, I don't know. But I had to go back in 6 weeks. I didn't quite go back in 6 weeks. I think it was a bit later. I think it was March. So I went back in March, the second one. And like they really hurt me. Like, what you've got to understand about me is they can never find my veins. Even the nurse said you've got really deep veins, so it's really a struggle to actually find your veins. And I'm like, but I drink at least 2 litres of water in the space of a few hours. And she's like, yeah, you're doing all the right things, it's not your fault. She said if blood doesn't want to come out of your veins, there's nothing that we can do about it. So basically she did my right arm, and I said, do you want to try my left arm? And she managed to get blood eventually. No, what happened before that, sorry, the second attempt, basically I went to one nurse, she couldn't get blood from the right or the left, and then she put me in with another nurse the next week. So I went to see a different nurse, and basically she struggled again with the right arm. I said, do you want to try the left arm? I said, that sometimes works. She tried the left arm, blood flowed out of the left arm, that's absolutely fine. And then I get a text message, doctors these days, and I'm not calling doctors, but because they're busy, doctors don't even have to do it. But the receptionists these days don't even ring you up like they used to. They don't ring you up and say, look, something's come back in your blood and we need to see you again for more blood tests, for a repeat blood test. So anyway, third time, get a text message saying there's been an abnormality in your blood, can you come in and get it repeated? And I'm like thinking, right, 2 times is fine, but 3 times is now taking the piss. You really hurt me when I come in. And I explained this to the receptionist. I said, look, I've been in twice already, and now you're asking me to come in for a 3rd time. What for? And she's like, well, they're just saying that your blood's, like there's something wrong with your red blood cells. And I'm like, okay. She said, well, I can't tell you. And I said, well, can you make me an appointment with someone that can tell me what the issue is? Now, I think that blood test has come back fine, the one that I had done a couple of days ago, because I've not had any text messages, and it only takes a couple of days. In fact, the last blood test only took a day, and they wanted me to go back in to repeat it. So I think it's come back fine, but they don't bother to let you know, do they, if it's come back fine. Like the nurse said to me, if it's come back fine, then we won't even get in contact with you. Now they've closed for the day now, so I'll contact them on Monday, just make sure that everything's fine. But I mean, having to go back 3 times, I think that is a joke in itself, to be honest. I mean, why? Why 3 times? And I said to her, I said, look, I'm really not being funny. I said, but there's no way I'm coming for this blood test for a 4th time. You hurt me, you know. And she said, yeah. She said, I appreciate that. She said, well, then you'll need to see a clinician. And I said, that's fine. I'm seeing a clinician next week anyway. But I wanted you guys to know, you know, what's going on with my health, you know, what happens sometimes with blood tests. I'm sure a lot of you have had this as well in the past. But yeah, I come home from those blood test appointments looking more like a pincushion than anything else. Bandages, well, not bandages, cotton swabs, like on both arms, and I'm just over it. I'm so over it. I want to know what's going on within my body. Maybe it's nothing, but you know, it doesn't feel like nothing. It feels like something's going on. I just want to know the results. So next week I'll be going to the doctor, and I'll be speaking to her about certain things, and I'll see what's going on. Sorry for the rant, guys. I just wanted to come on and briefly explain what happened. I just wanted to briefly explain what happened when I went for the blood test, the 3rd blood test, mind. You know, it's fine going in for a 2nd blood after the results of the 1st blood test aren't great, but having to go in for a 3rd blood test is, to me, not right. Guys, I'm going to leave it here, otherwise you won't be able to stop the rant, and I'll see you in the next one.